struggling with what is the ideal path for you? What's next for you? There's so many options to try to figure out, and there's so many different ways that you could take your business, but it's all pretty confusing. So our coach, Coach John Kitchens, came up with a short little quiz that will help you figure out the ideal path for you. Go to realestatecareeraccelerator.com, take the free short quiz, and figure out your ideal path. That's realestatecareeraccelerator.com.
I am here with Karen Santaella. Hi, Karen.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for coming on. So we are going to talk about how to stand out at an open house. So you have been, how long you been in real estate?
14 years now.
Nice. Happy anniversary, maybe.
Thank you. Yes,
Yes.
just had one.
And you're in Arizona
Correct.
with HomeSmart. Now, I guess we're kind of like, we assume that if a customer is coming to your open house, they're probably going to a lot of open houses. And oftentimes they are also sellers.
Yes.
So talk to us about your process, about how you stand out as a real estate agent and what you do to get them to work with you.
You know, I approach every person that comes in my open house as if I'm having a 30-second job interview.
Yeah.
And so the way to get to stand out above the competition is to offer them something of value, and to not immediately try to glean their email or their phone or any of their information, but to establish trust by offering them market data. And
Okay.
so I dial it in really specifically for our market. I ask them what they're looking for, where they're living now. A lot's asking them. People like to talk about themselves.
Right. And it helps them open up too if you're asking, because they're probably like at first freaked out. They don't want to be sold anything, right?
Exactly. Everyone's super touch sensitive with all the emails and, the
Right.
online marketing and everything. People are kind of touched out. But if you can prove to them that you could help them, then they're very willing to at least give a listen.
Nice. So what is the data that you're giving them, or how are you preparing for this open house? I mean, I have you have a sense of like their budget and sort of what they're looking for, right? Like that's why they're there.
Yes, when I started my business, I chose a target-rich environment. I chose a zip code in which I felt, qualified buyers would likely be driving around.
Right.
And so I made it my business to know about the listings in that zip code.
Okay.
And each morning I would look on the hot sheet and select a condo, a single family home, and a luxury property that was new to market.
Nice.
So that, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say one of those things. I want a condo.
Right.
I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, or, we're really ready for our next step.
Right.
And
Like a
so
move up property.
exactly. And so, or a downsized property.
Right.
So, so I would have those fresh in my mind and be able to just off the top of my head say, hey, this just came to market. You might be interested. And that already kind of, establishes you that you're at work, right?
Right. Right. That you're a real estate agent.
Yeah, that I have expertise.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, especially if you're only doing like a specific zip code, then it's pretty narrow and easy to collect the data from there. Now, you've done a lot of business through open houses.
Yes.
What is your recommendation if somebody is thinking, I want to use this as a lead generation tool? Like, how many should they be doing, like in a month or a week or whatever in a year?
It depends on how hungry you are. When I
Depends on what you're eating for dinner. Are you eating ramen?
Right. When I first started out, I started in August 2008, and I was literally standing in an open house when Lehman Brothers failed, and the stock market failed, and gold went to $1,000 an ounce. And so that's when I entered real estate. And but we had a lot of Canadians that were down here buying, and we were, of course, half off because of the downturn.
Right.
So I just viewed open houses as my office. And
and now that's how they are again, right? Like it's coming back around, I feel like, and I think it's like a really viable option to get leads. And like we said, so many of those buyers are actually sellers.
Yes, they're looking to see who's really working hard. And I have generated listings
Yeah.
because sellers noticed, okay, I was holding an open house in a seller's market. Who does that?
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
so just again, anything you can do to show that you're going above and beyond. But yeah, it's so I would sit my open houses 3, 4, 5 days a week. It didn't matter. In
Hmm.
our area, people were, down here for the winter time on vacation. They were driving around. So it was a tremendous way to begin a business on a shoestring.
Nice. So if you don't have a listing and you're going to be hosting somebody else's open house for them, what is the data and the information that you would bring in order to
Oh,
demonstrate your expertise?
first, I would just bring information on that property.
Sure.
They're probably not going to buy that property, but I did have a man walk into my open house, my very first open house, and wanted to buy that one, and it was listed for 750,000.
Great.
So that kind of sold me beginner's luck, I guess. But I bring
You're right. It's
information.
not often that they buy the one that they're
No,
looking at.
no. So I bring information on that property, but I always bring the comps and I show a market analysis and I show what the price per square foot is in the area,
Mhm.
what things are going for, where it's everyone wants a deal, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for value. So if you can assess that and communicate that to the people coming in, then you just have to know a little more than the next guy.
I know, right? That's the good news and the bad news, I
Yeah.
think, about you're just like, yeah, just a little bit more. But I also like your idea about bringing a property that is considered like a maybe a downsize or an upsize from
Mhm.
that one that you're hosting. So
Mhm.
then you have other, or even like, well, you're already going to have the relevant properties and maybe grab some actives too.
Yes, absolutely. So I put those in my brain, but then I bring the market analysis for the specific property they came into.
Right. Right.
But all you want is you want to get on base.
Yeah.
So you just want to get to get to the next level, to get their email, and then you can start really proving
So
yourself.
you're asking or you're demonstrating the value by giving them the information, then you're asking questions to create the report. And then it sounds like at that point, if it's there, then you're asking for the email, asking for the appointment to meet with them to talk further. Is that
Exactly.
okay?
Everyone's interested in their deal, right? They're
Right.
interested in what they want. I just have to find out what it is.
Minor detail. Do you have like, can you give us some examples of some of your go-to questions? You said you ask them what they're looking for. What other types of things you're asking them?
I had a brilliant sales trainer when I first got in the business, and she said, make your mouth do this.
Who? What?
Who?
How? Who?
What? Where? When? How much?
Exactly.
And that's always stood me in really good stead. And again, when you ask questions about, someone else, they often will want to talk about their needs, their desires, their
Right.
situation.
Yeah, and you're asking them like it sounds like you're asking 2 questions that are not just like yes, no.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have children? How long have you lived in the area? What is your dream home?
Yeah, what are
What
you
would
looking
that look
for?
like? Get them to visualize a little bit.
Those are
And
good questions. Or like, what do you like about your current home? What do you want differently in your
yes,
next home?
what are your real estate goals is a good question that I
I
ask.
like that. That's good. I always like to ask what else have they seen instead
Mhm.
of are you working with an agent? Because that their answer to what else have you seen really will tell me if they're working with an agent, you know?
True, true. And I always ask them, oh, did you see us driving by or online?
Yeah, good. Good. And does anybody is it mostly online?
Mostly online, about 90%. But sometimes you do have people just driving by and they decide to pop in.
Are you advertising your open houses outside of the MLS?
No, I'm not.
They're just in the MLS and wherever it syndicates.
Right, wherever it
How
syndicates.
many days ahead of time are you advertising them?
You can do as short a lead time as 24 hours.
What's like
But
the best exposure that you've found?
yeah, I would say at least 3 days.
Mhm.
At least 3 days lead time. to get the best exposure. But it is so nice to have the syndications showing open house today from 11 to 2. You know, that helps our
Exactly.
job a lot.
Exactly. Well, I really appreciate you being on. If people do have a referral for you and you serve Phoenix, Arizona, correct?
Right.
How should they get a hold of you?
They can text me my phone number or send an email, and I can give that information now or at
Yeah,
your
go ahead.
discretion.
And we'll
Yeah,
put it
sure.
in the notes too. But
Okay. So my email is KH, and then my last name, which is SANTAELLA @gmail.com. Or they can reach me at my phone number, 602-363-4933. I just love my job. I just love helping people, get to their next spot.
awesome. Well, thanks for being on.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You want to do more deals, but your current sphere is not big enough. What are you going to do? Well, you need to make new friends. So the best way to do that is through cold calling. I use RedX to call expireds, for sale by owners, for rent by owners, Circle Prospect, and you can too. Go to theredx.com/Fight Club and get your setup fee waived. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a podcast.